Actually, I think someone did do a study. Masturbating is good for your heart.
It's good for everything. It's good for prostate cancer.
Oh.
Preventiveness.
Oh.
Yeah. We're recording, by the way.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Blooper.
Go ahead, Gary.
Welcome back to the Demented Collective, and as always, I'm Gary.
I'm David.
And yeah, today we are doing the Goonies, and something we haven't been doing that we should probably start doing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, the Demented Collective.
Yep. 1985, Goonies. Okay. So, I'm older than him. I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie. In 1988, I would go over to a friend's house, because my parents worked, so they would babysit me or whatever, and they would always play this movie. So I watch it all the time. It's fantastic. The music, I noticed as soon as the music started at the beginning of the movie, like all the nostalgia feelings came back to me. I'm like, oh man, this is a great movie.
The soundtrack wasn't bad at all.
No, the guy who did the music was Dave Grusin. He's done a ton of stuff. The Firm. That's all that's coming to my head right now.
I have no idea.
Yeah, in the 80s and 90s, he was doing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, he nailed it on the music. It had that kids... Because Spielberg, this is a Spielberg movie. Mm-hmm. So...
He wasn't the director, though. He helped with, but the director I have is...
he was a producer.
Richard Donner.
Right, Richard Donner was the director. Richard Donner did all the Lethal Weapons.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Superman 1 and 2.
The Christopher Reeves ones?
Yeah, the good ones.
Oh, okay.
Scrooged. You ever seen Scrooge?
Oh, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. That's right.
Yep.
And a fun fact, Mama Fratelli is in Scrooged.
Really?
She's in the homeless shelter. She plays one of the homeless women. And she yells at him or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But what got Donner his break was The Omen.
The original Omen?
The original in 78? I think it was 78.
Hey, that'd be a fun one to do next then, I guess.
That's not a bad idea, yeah. And Chris Columbus was a writer.
Oh,
and so was Spielberg. Yeah. Dude, Chris Columbus, everyone knows Chris Columbus.
Oh, yeah, dude. Chris Columbus is a powerhouse when it comes to those, old school, classic films that, you and I grew up with, probably.
Oh, yeah. But Spielberg helped him write it. They both wrote it.
Which explains why, it's... Okay, the writing wasn't necessarily bad, but I will get to my opinions on it a little.
So I love this movie just because I grew up with it. He doesn't. What's the deal, Garrett?
I never watched it as a kid. I watched it for the first time as an adult, and the entire time I was sitting here, I was just thinking, what the fuck?
Okay.
Literally, what the fuck? And then I was watching it again for our review for this. It was even more what the fucks. I wrote them all down, and yeah.
We're going to hit those, I take it?
Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely. Cool. Definitely.
All right. I wanted to point out the cinematographer. Nick McLean, he did Spaceballs.
Oh, okay. Classic Mel Gibson film.
But he had previously worked with Spielberg on Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh.
And then Cobra, I think that came out a year or two later after this, was Stallone. The Stallone movie Cobra.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I don't think it did. I'm not sure, actually. I don't think I've seen it either.
I hear Cobra and I immediately think Cobra Kai.
So I want to point out a producer on this that is not popular anymore. Kathleen Kennedy. She's basically the one who ruined Star Wars. You're right.
With episodes 1 through 3?
No. We're talking the new Star Wars.
Oh,
in the last
7, 8, 9?
10 years or so, yeah.
Yeah, and then the in-between films that they did?
Yeah, she was involved with those things.
Rogue One.
Right, so... Yeah, not a lot of love for Kathleen Kennedy.
Thanks for ruining my childhood. Just kidding.
I'll stick to the originals.
No originals.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, we can go on.
Right, we're not doing a Star Wars thing.
That's those opinions on those ones alone. Well,
so we got Sean Astin.
Oh yeah.
What's he been in? Nothing.
Wasn't he in that show with all those kids? They play like D&D, and then there's like
Oh, right,
horror
Stranger
stuff.
Things. That's right. Didn't he die in Stranger Things?
Spoiler alert. Oh yeah, as always, spoilers ahead.
Whatever. No, Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
I remember him from Rudy, but whatever.
Okay.
Josh Brolin. I got a guy whispering in my ear.
We got an off-camera commentary, a good buddy of ours.
Yeah, Josh Brolin.
Hi, go fuck the women.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we prefer to do, but
It's gonna be a while too.
right? Oh, we're
So
having fun.
he was in Avengers,
Dude, he's Cable.
Endgame and Infinity. What? He's Cable? Well,
Yeah.
he is Cable.
Josh Brolin is Cable.
I
I'm
forgot about
Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot about Cable.
yeah, dude. Josh Brolin is
That was the Ryan Reynolds one with
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah, no, and he plays an awesome Cable.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, dude, Cable is one of my favorite characters from X-Men. You know, '90s kid, those '90s cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Sure.
no, I read the comics.
Oh,
X Force, I believe it was.
oh yeah, Cable was a member of X-Force, and I mean, like, well, dude, Josh Brolin's just a powerhouse of an actor.
He is.
I mean, seriously. The remake they did of Old Boy.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
He's in the new Dunes.
oh,
He plays Gurney Halleck. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Gurney Halleck is what he plays in Part 1 and Part 2. And he was in No Country for Old Men. That was a big hit.
Gangster Squad.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh, dude, classic film.
Now, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name correctly. Data.
Data's, yeah.
Is it Ki Hui Kwan?
Good question. I believe he is Korean, so I have to ask my sister.
Okay. Everyone knows him now because he just won Best Supporting Actor.
For Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In Temple of Doom with Harrison
Oh,
Ford.
yeah, Short Round.
That's right.
I remember that now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the show Head of the Class? It was 1991.
I don't think I did.
Okay. It was kind of a competitor to Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay.
Saved by the Bell won. So
I mean,
he was on that.
The one where Shriek turns into a porn star, I believe.
Yeah, in real life, sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't say star, but sure.
You know what I mean.
He's dead now, so whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So-
he died.
Well,
He died like 10 years ago or something.
learn something new every day. We're not laughing at death, guys.
No, we're not. There's other stuff going on. But no, he couldn't get roles. He wasn't able to land roles in the 90s. After, it seems, after head of the class. So he went behind the camera and started doing stunt coordinating, assistant directing, that sort of thing, and it landed him to where he is now, and he was able to do everything everywhere all at once.
Which I haven't seen, but heard nothing but good things about. So
Yeah.
I should have to check that out.
And then Chunk, played by Jeff Cohen. He quit acting. His last thing was in '91. It was a Disney movie called Perfect Harmony. What's he doing now? He's an attorney or something, right?
Yeah.
So he just kind of dropped out and went and had a normal career.
I mean, yeah, which happens to a lot of celebrities, I guess.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School from 1988. I owned that on VHS, and I would watch it all the time. He was a voice in that,
Okay.
so I knew him from that one. Andy, played by Kerry Green. Did you ever see Lucas? No? Okay, it was an 80s movie. I watched that one a lot too. Summer Rental, a lot of 80s movies. She kind of...
Yeah, I looked her up. She pattered out eventually.
Yeah, she directed a movie called Belly Fruit in '99, and then 2001 was her last thing.
And then she kind of...
Yeah, she just, did her life. She's doing good, I guess. She's probably making money off these movies. Like, doesn't have to work or anything if you don't want to.
royalties,
Yeah, exactly.
residuals, or...
Steph, so I don't like Steph.
She was the short-haired friend to Andy, right?
Yeah, I just don't like her voice. The screaming, it bugs me.
Yeah, she was kind of complainy, whiny.
Martha Plimpton is her name. That's who
Yeah.
plays her.
And,
And she's still working.
oh, yeah.
A lot of voice work.
Honestly, the thing, like, she looked familiar, and then it clicked. Yeah, she's the mom in Raising Hope.
Oh, yeah. I totally burped.
Blooper. Oh, yeah, no. And
I'm leaving that in.
Yeah.
That's great.
But, yeah, no, Raising Hope, fantastic series, honestly. I can, and the mom is, she did great as the mom.
Yeah. Jake
Wow.
Fratelli played by Robert Davey.
You know.
Die Hard. was in Die Hard. He was in License to Kill, 007, James Bond. That was a Timothy Dalton one in the late 80s.
Oh, yes.
The Expendables 3 was probably his latest big thing.
Oh, he was the one that broke out of prison, right?
Yeah, the opera singer.
Yeah, he also played in Cops and Robertsons.
Did he?
Yeah, Chevy Chase. He was with the Chevy Chase. He was the neighbor that they were investigating.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I recognize him because he's a very distinct face, and he is. Honestly, I did enjoy him in this film. I will say that because that was the first time I recall seeing him as a kid was in Cops and Robertsons, and I remember being intimidated by him.
Huh.
But then seeing him in this film where he's.
I saw Cops and Robertsons in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh yeah.
He is actually a classically trained opera singer.
Explain. It
was his idea to do the
voice.
It was his idea to do the opera singing, and Spielberg was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I did enjoy his singing. He was probably, honestly, one of my favorite actors in this film.
How about Joe Pantoliano as the brother, Francis Fratelli? You know him from a monster movie. His name is Cypher in the big movie.
That sound, oh my god. It's ringing a bell. Why can't I think of it?
Ignorance is bliss. The Matrix.
Oh!
He's the one who sells them out.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
He played in a number of roles, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He usually plays kind of like a... wasn't he also the reporter then in Daredevil, Matt Damon?
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Nobody saw Daredevil with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
So, it's a terrible movie. But I'm sure he was. He was also in Memento and Bad Boys, if you ever saw either of those. Mama Fratelli, Anne Ramsey, she passed away a couple years after making this. She was pretty old.
All right.
They did it. Throw Mama from the Train, Billy Crystal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Scrooged and Any Which Way You Can with Clint Eastwood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Any Which Way You
And
Can, Any Which Way You...
Sloth. John, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Matuzak. John Matuzak. One Crazy Summer, the Ice Pirates. But apparently he was a football player, NFL. He played for the Raiders, for the Los Angeles Raiders, because it was in the 80s. 6 years. And then he went over to the Houston Oilers, back when they were still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. That's the main cast. Let's get into this movie and whip through it, because we have places to go and people to see.
Yeah. Things to do.
Yep. So you start off with the Fratellis doing the Great Escape from jail.
Seriously, in the opening, what the fuck? I mean, it's supposed to be a kids' movies, and Colin and this guy is
he's
hanging.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty dark for a kids' movie.
yeah, and then on top of that, the note literally that the guard reads literally says, "You schmuck, you think I'd really kill myself?"
Right.
For a kids, I get that this was a different time, but
I mean, it was a really different time.
yeah.
You weren't there. I was
No.
there.
But
I
it
don't
was
remember it very well, but I was
Yeah.
there.
like, what the that man.
So he escapes out.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice that when he dives in through the sunroof of Mama Fratelli's car, there's a weird, like, 80-hour voiceover? Did you notice that?
I did it.
It's like, he just says, "Thank you, Mama," but it doesn't fit. Because it's 80-yard. It's a voiceover. They
Yeah.
just kind of, it's like they threw it in after. I don't know,
Post credits.
It felt weird.
Post filming.
It felt really weird to me. So you got the high-speed chase going through the town. And we're getting introduced. They're doing the credits, and we're getting introduced to all the kids.
Yeah, and other like characters, and the only person that sees it is Chunk.
Yeah, and he does the "oh shit" because his food's on the window. That's the
Yeah,
best. That's the funniest thing to me. But Mouth is watching that movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
his dad tells him to turn it down. What movie was it?
Old school black and white mobster movie.
Not Mobster, but yeah.
Oh, gangster. I don't know. Shut up.
Some Like It Hot. Marilyn
Oh.
Monroe.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
And then
Fun fact.
they do the driving on the beach. That's something we used to be able to do.
Oh, yeah, no.
So-
The times they are changing.
And this is taking place in Astoria, Oregon. So they're on the coast there, and it's a real town. They actually have an official Goonies Day in Astoria. It's June 7th.
Oh, really?
It is an official Goonies Day because they filmed it in Astoria.
Okay. That's kind of cool, I guess.
Well, I mean, it gives them something to do, I guess.
Right.
On June 7th. And then we go to meet Mikey and Brand.
Oh, yes. Sean Astin and Josh Brolin.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Mouse shows up, Chunk, and it's Truffle Shuffle time.
Yeah, classic, but at the same time, as I'm watching this, I'm like, dude, they are really mean to Chunk throughout the entirety of this film.
They are. Well, he's a klutz, and they know it, so they use him. When they need something broken, they just have him hold it, and then he breaks it.
Or they taunt him into, like, when the door break, yeah.
So, yeah, he makes him do the Truffle Shuffle. And then the Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, the Rube Goldberg. That's an unnecessary way to open a gate.
Yeah.
And honestly, the amount of time to reset that, to do it again, plus there's no guarantee that the chicken's going to lay the egg.
I thought about that too, the chicken thing, yeah.
Like, that
it's
is,
there for fun. It's there for fun.
But
it's a kid's movie. I mean,
yeah, but how many Rube Goldberg machines are there in this film? Too many.
At least 2. I remember 2.
There's more than 2.
Is there? Okay, point them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Most of
he
them
could have
once
just
they get
reached
to the
over,
cave.
opened up. Yeah, it is true. That's true. The traps, the booby traps. And Data flies in. Chunk breaks the wiener off the statue.
And then they glue it on upside down.
Glue it on upside down.
Upside down penis. Bam. Again.
And then
Children's film.
Mom's gonna be pissed because she really liked that that statue. I guess because it had a
There
wiener.
was a lot of like stuff that they put in there that honestly, I mean.
Yeah.
And then shortly afterwards, the mom ends up showing him, and she gets mouth to,
Oh yeah, Rosalita.
Yeah, talk to Rosalita
yeah.
for him. And then, again, kids films, and he's talking about separate the drugs, the marijuana, the cocaine, the heroin.
No, this is a great scene. This is funny
it's
stuff.
It's hilarious, but as I'm watching, I'm like, this is supposed to be, again, a kids movie, and then he's talking about putting... if you mess up, you're gonna go in the
and don't go in the attic. That's where the husband keeps his sexual torture devices.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it's good
honestly,
stuff.
this is foreshadowing Corey Feldman's life. I want to say, like.
And we also learn right here that the banker guys are trying to buy up the neighborhood.
Yeah. And of course, the bankers are always the bad guys in these 80s, 90s films, specifically the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, they still are. But anyways,
yeah.
I digress. Okay, so the kids, they end up in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that those light ball things, the static, and they make your hair rise?
Yeah,
those were lit.
Plasma balls, yeah.
Why were they lit? Why were they up there?
I can't remember why they even went up there in the first place. This, for a 2-hour film, they're a lot.
Yeah, they had to do a lot of filler.
Yeah, and it really didn't feel like.
And we'll go over what they cut out. Did you watch the deleted scenes?
No.
Okay, see, I watched the deleted scenes, so we'll go over that at the end. And they end up finding the treasure of One-Eyed Willie.
And another
treasure
dirty
map.
joke right there. One-Eyed Willie. Yeah.
Perfect. He actually has a real name. There's a whole Wikipedia. Like, there's a fanpedia or whatever of Goonies, like lore and stuff, that I stumbled across. And he has a name, I forgot what it was. So you can look that up.
Because One-Eyed Willie's a classic and easy to remember.
And before we go any further, don't forget to like, subscribe, and what else was it?
Oh, it was like and subscribe. Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, and we did that at the beginning of the film, bro.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Oh? What's that, Peanut Gallery?
Yeah, Peanut Gallery.
Comment.
Oh, and comment.
And share.
And share.
Yes.
There's a ton of people in this room right now.
Yeah. Anyone else want to add anything?
Nope.
She says no.
Chester Copperpot. We're introduced to the picture of Chester Copperpot. I looked up to see who that was, the picture they used. No one really knows.
So it might be super familiar.
It was on that Fanpedia. There were theories, and they asked people like, is this a member of your family? They couldn't figure it out, so it might just be a stock photo or something. Because I was actually really curious about that.
Yeah.
So we got the introduction of Chester, and then we get the Cyndi Lauper song.
What's good enough?
Yep.
And then
Goonies are good enough. It was a 12-minute music video.
The music video was 12 minutes?
Spielberg's in it. He does a cameo in it. All the kids are in it. Yeah.
Holy shnikey.
I mean, she was big at the time. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She didn't become
That was, because, there's the 80s film, girls just want to have fun.
Yeah. She did a movie with Jeff Goldblum. It's him and her. And they have psychic powers. And I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, if you guys know, feel free to comment.
Yeah, there you go.
Get involved.
So the boys trap Brand in the weight
so that they can take off, and then they let the air out of his tires, and then they go off trying to find the treasure of Penis Man.
One-Eyed Willie. Yes,
Yeah.
One-Eyed Willie.
And so Brand ends up stealing some little
kid's
girl's bike,
yeah.
and then as he's going down, the freaking town bully.
No, this guy's a psychopath.
No, this is like a kid's
kidding
film.
me?
No, like it's sitting there like, hey, let's give you a
Troy.
ride, ha ha ha.
We're talking about Troy here, and we're introduced to the two girls, the two females, because they're riding with him. But yeah, this guy is nuts.
That
He's
is
trying to kill him.
attempted murder, and this is a kid's film. I mean, yes, again, I know different times, but did anyone try to murder anyone in Sandlot? Wasn't that another classic '80s film?
No, it was an early '90s film.
No,
I saw it in theaters.
most of the '80s films I watched starred members of the Brat Pack. I know they don't like being
No,
called
that's
that,
true.
but-
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Complain to us?
Star Kid.
So where are we at? He just flew off the cliff, and apparently he's fine once he
Yeah.
shows back up.
Yeah, just goes literally flying off the cliff, which, hey, you know what? Kudos to him for being able to pedal at that speed, because honestly, at that point, I'd take my feet off the pedals and just be like, you little bastard. And
Oh, yeah.
Punch.
Yeah. Moving up though, we
Or
go.
hop into the car, because it's a convertible and the top is down.
Oh yeah, just hop in. Done. The boys now are seeing. They're at the Lighthouse restaurant.
Yeah.
They see the Fratellis going inside. Mike.
One thing I did like is they point out an inconsistency in there. It's like, how did they know that the restaurant was going to be there with the coin?
I mean, they're from the area.
I know, but how long was that restaurant around? Was that around during the time of Pirates? When the Pirates were there? Because one of the members of the Goonies actually points that out. So honestly, that part, I appreciate stuff like that, because it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's meta.
Yeah. Cool. So the FBI, you see a guy go in there, and you hear a gunshot.
I didn't hear I don't remember oh yeah, the gunshot, because that's when Chunk is like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Exactly. But yeah, it was the Fratellis shooting the FBI guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of death and dead bodies in this film. I mean, for a kid's film, we're talking like...
And he's got a gunshot in the dome.
Yeah.
And they show it.
drugs, dead bodies, freaking...
This is PG.
Blood, yeah.
But it's 85 PG.
Yeah.
This is the 80s PG.
I know, but this would be like a preteen movie by today's standards.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is just like... And then abusing the fat kid.
Yeah, well...
And making fun of the Asian. For being...
Yeah, it was the 80s.
It was.
They were doing that still. And the girls appear out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
They just kind of like...
Boom!
Yeah, and then the kids break in the restaurant.
Yeah.
What the Mama Fratelli is giving them a hard time or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of screaming with the kids.
This is a restaurant.
Yeah. Four
and
Waters.
Then threatens to cut Mouth's tongue out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's not a nice person.
I know. But I'm like, dude. And then, it gives them Four Waters. It's like, but for all we know, that could have been Jack freaking Daniels, because it was brown and it was a liquid.
Yeah.
They try and get these kids drunk now?
So they end up back in there, right?
Yeah.
So, and because they run out, and then they come back in. It's
they
Chunk.
run into Brand.
Oh yeah,
also
then the
runs
Fratellis
into the-
leave.
Yeah.
And then they go in.
Yeah, and Mouth tricks Chunk into breaking in for him.
Right, he does that, and then he tricks him, or Chunk drops the water bottle, and that's how they find the hole in the ground.
Oh yeah, they go into the basement. That happens.
Right, and the counterfeit money and all that.
Yeah.
And they find the dead body.
Yeah. Because Chunk smells ice cream.
Yeah, who smells ice cream? I think that's the joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Freaking.
But the dead body guy is Ted Grossman. He's a stuntman. He did Return of the Jedi, Jaws. So he'd worked with Spielberg before. So they must have just found him. Nice. Said, hey, you want to be in this?
Yeah, why not?
It's not much of a stunt. He kind of just tips over.
Yeah. I guess that takes some talent, like you, to be able to just ragdoll yourself on purpose.
No,
and
that's
trusting
true.
your actors or your
that they're going to catch you.
Yeah.
So the Fratellis return, and the kids go running and they go down the hole, but Chunk is stuck in the freezer with the dead guy.
Yeah. Leave your buddy
awesome.
behind. Yeah.
Chunk cracks me up, man.
I mean, he was probably one of my favorite. He's probably my favorite Goonie.
Yeah.
Until the end.
I like Data too, though.
Yeah.
The Pictures of Power. Come on, that's good stuff.
He's smart. He's clever. Okay. They're not bad.
So Chunk goes running off to try to find the cops, or he flags down the car.
Yeah, and he's sitting here talking about they're messed up individuals that kill, and then the click.
So, and it's one of the Fratelli brothers.
Yeah, and that's like that guy cracked me up because like this kid's pretty much like saying oh shit, saying a prayer, and then the guy takes this opportunity to just start singing opera to him.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm gonna kill your ass.
He was trained, so might as well use it.
Yeah, and he's got a great voice, but I mean like I don't know, maybe because I relate to him, random just singing. Yeah, I get it. I dig it.
So so I'm kind of moving along quick.
Yeah.
So the kids are banging on the pipes, and the town water starts going nuts.
Yeah.
And what was Troy was on the toilet. When was the last time you took a dump with your underwear on? I get it. It's PG.
Yeah.
They kind of have to do
like
that.
Underwear like right up to here? Or was his full underwear
because he goes flying up by the water from the toilet, but it was fully on. Yeah. But it's PG, so it's a kids movie. They're having fun. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, but that's one of the few things you couldn't get away with for a PG film back then, I'm guessing. But nowadays you could get away with side cheek.
Yeah, something like that. I get what you're saying. Now, right here is where a deleted scene would come in, because when them banging on the pipes, they did a thing in deleted scenes where zoo animals escaped. And two gorillas end up stealing Troy's car and going on a high-speed chase with the cops chasing them, and they crash. And you can watch it on YouTube. The clips are up on YouTube.
Okay. Which would make sense because I don't think you see Troy's car throughout the rest of the film.
That's true.
So this must have been deleted afterwards, to keep it.
Yeah, they're probably cutting it down under 2 hours, kind of, because I think it came in at 150 something.
Yeah, and I have it as a 154.
Right. And
which makes sense because back then I think the the longest you could go for a film was 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays with their 3+ hour films, I still love Avengers Endgame. I don't care.
So now we're back down with the kids, and Andy is freaking out.
Yeah.
In shock or something like that, and then she finds Chester
I'm
Copperbot.
too pretty to die. I'm too pretty to die. Yeah, that's literally the gist of what she's bitching and moaning about. And then they find Chester Copperbot, which by the way, a dead body that's crushed by a boulder for a kids film.
Okay, so there's a joke here because Mikey's looking at his stuff and he says, Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how much that card costs? No? That card would have saved their neighborhood.
Yeah. Hey, screw the rest of the adventure. Get that card, get back on. But no, you can't do that because then the movie would have been much
So that
shorter.
specific card
pushes... It was a rookie card, wasn't it?
In mint condition, it pushes around $300,000 in nowadays money. So adjust for inflation and all that. But yeah.
So back then, that's still a pretty penny.
Oh, yeah.
Enough that...
So I think that was a joke there.
Yeah.
They were trying to do. They could have just walked out from there.
I'm not a sports fan, but even I know who Lou Gehrig was. He was actually, I believe, a member of the Yankees with Babe Ruth.
Yeah. He was, the classics.
Back when
he has a disease named after him.
Yeah. Oh, except for now they changed the name back to whatever it's called.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Remember when the ice bucket
I don't keep
challenge
up on
was
the
going
Lou
on?
Gehrig disease.
Oh, no, I only found that one out because when the ice bucket challenge was big, my brother was telling me, he's like, yeah, it's for something or other. I'm like, what the hell is that? He's like, Lou Gehrig's disease. I'm like, why didn't you just say Lou Gehrig's disease?
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, I guess you don't want a disease named after you, but at the same time.
Cerebral palsy?
No, it's not cerebral palsy.
All right. Well,
ALS.
okay. I don't know what that stands for. But we are
Angry
talking about the
Lemur
Goonies.
syndrome.
We're,
Yeah, let's go.
That we're talking about.
Let's go back to the Goonies.
Oh, tonight's a wild night.
Right?
So they're making their way through the tunnels, and Chunk is telling his life story to the Fratellis.
Oh, yeah.
Great scene.
That's always in first grade, in second grade. Honestly, that was probably, I will say that, throughout the entirety of the film, that was my favorite scene because as he's crying, telling these funny ass stories, the one Fratelli brother is just sitting there like holding him and smiling. I'm beginning to like this kid. Like, that was
the
good.
throwing up in the theater
Yeah.
story. That's something Steven Spielberg did. When he was a kid, they pranked a theater or something like that. So that's the story of him pranking a theater and causing that to happen in the theater when he was a kid.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It's really good, actually.
I dig that.
And then we hit the waterfall. Wait. And then bats. The bats come flying in.
And the bats.
And the bats come flying
God
in.
put that rock there for a reason.
And then that's how the Fratellis know stuff is down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the waterfall and wishing well.
Yeah.
And Troy's up there and all that. And Mouth is having a rough time. Like, this is my wish.
This is
It
my
didn't come
wish.
true. I'm
Didn't
taking
come
it
true.
back.
Yeah. What was your wish, buddy? To be less of a dick? Because
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
kind of,
you
he's kind of
got-
a jerk. But he's a funny jerk.
he's a lovable asshole,
Yeah.
I guess. We all know one.
And then...
Me.
Yeah. Fratellis, they find the doubloon on Chunk.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of gives them the, like, okay, we need to start
Because
chasing
they
this.
think Chunk is, Chunk is known for spreading big fish stories, but now he's literally bawling, telling the truth.
Right.
Like, literally spilling his guts, and then that happens, and...
And so Troy is at the top of the waterfall, wishing well, and he's talking crap about making it with Andy. And it's a kids' movie, so that's about as far as they're going to go and explaining that sort of
He
thing.
ain't gonna be like, I want to plow Andy!
That's right.
He might as well have said that, though.
But I mean, yeah. So he wishes for it, and then the coin flips back up or something like that, right?
Yeah. Bran flips back up to get their attention.
Was it Brand?
I
See, I
think
thought it was Andy. Like she heard him or something. Like, no, flip
Well,
this back.
it might have been both. I don't know. I can't remember.
She does eventually send up her Letterman's coat.
Yeah, that was Troy's.
Yeah.
Andy!
So now we get to meet Sloth.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Fratelli stick
Hey,
Chunk with
old
it.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're not there yet. We're not to the classic lines. But what movie is Sloth watching?
The Superman, wasn't it?
No.
No, he wears a Superman shirt later.
Right, because he's really into pirates and stuff. That's why he does the sliding down on the thing. It's Captain Blood.
Oh.
Errol Flynn movie, old Errol Flynn. He did a bunch of pirate movies back in the day in the 30s. I think Captain Blood was like 34 or something like that.
Okay.
And then you got your inspirational speech from Mikey. Like, oh, we need to, do this.
It's our time. It's our time down here. Goonies never say die. Shut your mispronouncing ass up.
And that's when Andy sends the Letterman up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Troy yells out, Andy, you goonie.
Andy, you Goonie. I don't know where they got those names
And
from.
then we cut back to the Ruth. Baby.
Ruth. Yeah.
It's great.
At that point, I think now is a good time. Take a brief break, and yeah.
Okay. we went from the Baby Ruth scene,
Yeah.
and we got Mikey. They use a key, and Mikey, his hand gets stuck,
Yeah.
and the floor falls out, and Data falls down. But he's saved by the Pictures of Power.
Oh yeah.
Now there's a deleted scene earlier of the Pictures of Power, and he's like looking for binoculars or something. The Pictures of Power pop out and bite Mouth on the butt. And then it's very painful for Mouth, and it's this whole thing. That's a deleted scene they did. That's earlier when they're looking at the lighthouse.
That would have been
funny. Chuck calls the cops.
Mm-hmm. Cops don't believe him, but
Don't believe him. Then you got a Sizzler. When was the last time you saw a Sizzler? Sizzler reference.
Are Sizzler even a restaurant anymore?
They are. There's I think there's one in El Cajon, California.
Okay, so
yeah.
they're few and far in between. Okay.
Yeah. I got something in my throat. There's also the Gremlins reference.
Oh yeah, those creatures that multiply when you get them wet.
I think that came out a year prior to this. So Spielberg did that with Chris Columbus.
Oh yeah, classic film.
Yeah, and then
another one we should do.
And then Andy makes out with Mikey.
Oh yeah,
on accident. I think he's standing in the hole.
Does Brand wear braces?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and her friend, what's her friend's name again?
Steph,
yeah. Notices, laughs, and doesn't say anything. And just like, come on, lover boy.
Yeah. And then the Fratellis catch up to them.
Yeah.
And they're crossing the log. But Data, being Data, slick shoes. He's got the slick shoes for crossing the log. And then he got some nut shots on the Fratellis.
Oh, yeah. Literally pinches one of them right on the... Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then the okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
double whammy for the...
Both brothers get the nut shot on the log. The skeleton piano piece. Okay, so the set design on that was awesome.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That looked really cool. It reminded me a lot of the... Have you ever been to Disneyland in California?
Nope.
Okay. It reminded me a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean. They kind of have that sort of aesthetic in the ride. And then the ship, actually, fun fact, the ship, they were stealing from the ride, the Pirates of the... Like, we want it to look like that.
The Black Pearl, or...
Well,
no, it wasn't the Black.
I grew up going to. I lived in Southern California at the time, and I grew up going to Disneyland. So I remember the old Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Okay.
And they have some ships shooting.
Okay.
You take your boat between them. They're shooting cannonballs at each other, kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's similar to that. I think that's what they were trying to rip off of.
Okay.
Or be inspired by. Let's put it that way.
Makes sense.
So Andy took piano, and she's got to play it correctly.
Yeah, if not, then...
A hole opens up.
And
then, so she misses one. Data, I think it's Data almost falls into a Brand.
Data almost falls in. She misses another. Brand almost falls in. And then so at that point, like, they're trying to huddle as close together.
And then they cut away, and they cut back, and the hole is gone.
I didn't notice
when
that.
the other hole falls, that hole, it's something like that. There's a weird...
Yeah,
it was
error.
a cutting room error kind of thing. Yeah, continuity. But then once they leave, the hole's back.
No, yeah.
And then...
I think they referenced that in an episode of American Dad, but...
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, this movie has been referenced everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Water slide time. Okay, so as a kid, this was my scene. I wanted to do this water slide, especially when they fly out at the end and they drop like 20 feet into the water. Coolest thing I wanted to do. And we have water parks in Southern California at the time. Well, we got one 2 hours from here, right? In Utah, I think.
No, yeah, I think Lagoon.
Lagoon, there you go.
The closest.
And then you get the pirate ship reveal.
Oh, yes.
Music. Awesome ship. So behind the scenes, they didn't show the ship to the kids.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Which explains why their reaction was so genuine.
Well, kind of. Problem was, Josh Brolin said, when they did it, he actually saw it for the first time. He said, holy shit. So they had to cut the first take. And they had to use the second take. So, yeah, because that would have been too many shits. Now, well, okay, so they used, between shit and bullshit in this movie, a PG movie, 19 times.
And, yeah, you can only get away with so much compared to...
Yeah, you can't do that now.
Yeah, no, I mean, like... Yeah, nowadays the standards, this film would easily be PG-13, or even probably R if they kept in all the shits.
Yeah, No,
it's still PG-13.
Yeah,
I think there's no limit.
When it comes to F word, I think PG-13 gets 1 or 2 maybe, but it can't be sexual, and you can't be telling someone to like fuck off or something.
Yeah, because
it has to be an exclamation or.
There's the even like certain common phrases like the term like beef curtains could get censored or sausage trap.
No,
things like that could get censored.
Correct.
Depending on how you use them. Yeah, if I for instance, me just saying beef curtains right there would be not censored, but me being like using it in a derogatory or explicit sense.
We're diverting.
Okay.
Let's get back to the movie.
Beef curtains.
Yeah, we're talking about beef curtains. Okay, we're back to the Goonies. So they're looking for the gold, and Andy thinks she set off a trap. It's not actually a trap. Something breaks through, and then they come up and they actually find the real gold. They find One-Eyed Willie.
More several Rube Goldberg machines. I lost count.
Mikey wants a little one-on-one time with One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah, it has a conversation with them, and then he turns and was like, "How long have you guys been there?" Long enough, Mikey.
Yep.
Long enough.
Yep.
That scene was really cringy. I'm not gonna lie.
What? It's a kid's movie.
You're talking to a dead dude.
Yeah. Well, he was expressing his emotions that he was feeling because of all the stuff that's happening in his life at the time.
Yeah, fair, but still.
He's coping. Come on.
So they're to a dead body.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So the skeleton they used for One-Eyed Willie was actual bone.
Oh.
They actually used bone. So that I thought that was cool. I guess they must have filled
Christian
in that
called
eye
that.
because he flips it.
Yeah.
And it's an actual solid piece right there. I thought that was a cool thing.
Oh.
So they start loading up on gold.
Stops him because that's One-Eyed Willie's share.
That's One-Eyed Willie's share, and it's a good thing he stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because another Rube Goldberg machine activates because of that later, thanks to the Fratellis.
Yeah. And Data right here, I have Data's the man. He's not being taken alive by the Fratellis because the Fratellis have shown up. And he uses his pincher of power in the nuts.
Yeah.
So we're on 3 nut shots.
Oh, yeah.
We got the pincher's power on the nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama Fratelli ends up dropping the gun because of his little thingy.
Yeah, getting messages from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, we're getting messages.
Boner garage, sausage trap. Yeah. Beef curtains. All words that can... Yeah, we'll have to do another thing on that.
And Andy has to walk the plank. Bran jumps in to save her.
Yeah.
And then the big reveal of Sloth. The hey you guys.
Hey you guys.
And he comes down the sail with just like Errol Flynn would have done back in those movies he was watching, with Chunk hanging on.
Yeah. Chunk? No, Captain Chunk, which is also the name of a metal band, I believe.
Captain Chunk.
As Chunk, no, Captain Chunk is the name of the
That's
band.
right, because he says, yeah, Captain Chunk. Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I will look them up. And I think around this time there's a deleted scene because they kept a part in the movie at the end
About the octopus.
about the octopus, and
Yeah,
this is
Data
about the
mentions
time where the octopus would be coming in, and Data ends up not fighting the octopus, but he puts his headphones, like the old Walkmans, he shoves it in the beak of the octopus, and then the octopus backs away. So.
Yes, octopus beak, another term that could be.
Okay.
Beef curtains. Sausage trap.
With
Boner garage.
Boner garage. And then, so Brand has jumped in after Andy, and they're making out. Her hands are still tied. There's people up at the top with swords to them and that sort of thing, and they're making out down at the bottom. What are you doing?
There was several scenes like the tension between those two.
Yeah. And then, I was actually talking to someone earlier today about this. Sloth says to Mama Fratelli, "You've been bad." I have heard this before. Tenacious D. I dove into YouTube on Tenacious D's Pick a Destiny because that's where I think I heard it. I thought it was Sasquatch in the movie saying it. JB, you've been bad, and he says it the same way that Sloth says it. So I thought might be a reference. I just can't find it. Maybe it's a Mandela effect, but
yeah,
I really think I've heard it from them.
Who knows? If you guys know, comment.
Yeah, I want to know that.
Yeah, if you can find a link too, like feel
Well,
free to put that. Like
yeah.
that might help. That'd be cool.
And Mama does her thing with Sloth. She's trying to.
Rockabye baby. Yeah, and then the jokes about dropping babies, and he starts freaking out about us again.
I only dropped you once. Well, maybe twice.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I love morbid humor. I'm all down for it. Like, I love it. It's fucking hilarious. But on the same hand, this is supposed to be a kids' film. Again, seeing as an adult with my now modern mind, I guess that's where I'm like, what the actual fuck?
See, and maybe that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't pull back punches. How movies are nowadays, and they're trying to coddle
true.
everyone.
I mean, and if they don't, then you end up with, like, very just stupid ratings.
Right. Okay, so Sloth throws her overboard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's mad at her.
Deserved.
And the kids run off, and the Fratellis start taking the gold.
Yeah, and Sloth saves the Goonies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Fratellis take the gold. They activate yet another Rube Goldberg machine.
This is One-Eyed Willie's gold.
Yeah.
They took his gold.
Setting off a chain reaction that damn near, kills them all. And, yeah, that's when they go to leave, and Sloth with his superhuman strength, and...
Yeah.
There, and a scene in there was also kind of where he grabs Chunk's head and holds it against his like, I know you, Chunk, and then pushes him. Dude, child's face near man dick. Like,
What?
yeah. He literally
No.
his head and he's like, I love you. And it's like, near his dick.
Okay. Not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Moving on, Gary. Moving on.
It's supposed to be a children's movie.
Moving on. Cave's collapsing.
Yeah.
Sloth gets him out of the cave by being a hero. And then they're out of the cave.
Yeah.
We're coming into the final thing now. The kids, they're being reunited with their families and all that.
Yeah.
And then the Fratellis
Show up. And
yeah,
then,
with Sloth.
of course, the police try to, get all like, sloth, monster, shoot, kill it with fire.
Right.
But then the Goonies go and they're like, no. And yeah, and they end up
Well,
saving
Sloth picks up a cop.
Oh,
He
yeah.
picks him up. Now, did you notice what Data said?
What?
He says it's captioned. It's wow, and then there's Asian characters.
Kanji, yeah.
What is it?
I think that's the technical term for the Asian characters is kanji.
Okay.
Or, I don't know, depending
No,
on
I actually
the
looked it up. The joke is supposed to be that he's cussing,
Yeah.
but he's not.
No.
He's saying, wow, he is a big, strong man, is what he says. That's all he says.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And according to someone who speaks Japanese, it wasn't actually Japanese that was written. It was Mandarin or Cantonese is what they're saying.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and somewhere in between this, they find that there's diamonds in Mikey's marble bag because he dumped his marbles and stuff.
Rosalita finds them. Yeah.
Yeah. So they.
No sign.
Yeah, no sign.
Mouth is trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they big happy ending. The bankers get stuff.
Now here's your favorite part. Sloth, you're gonna live with me now.
No.
What's your problem with this?
Okay, this kid's parents is like right down, like
they're there.
10
They
feet.
are there.
Yeah,
They brought dominoes.
Yeah, they're okay with this big, like 6'12" motherfucker who can literally murder both of them with one hand, eat a baby Ruth, then take that chocolatey ass hand and jack off with it while still murdering both of them. They're okay with that living with them? I mean, yes, he's a big sweet old teddy bear, but he also has like some unresolved trauma. Just know what kind of parent is okay with. This isn't a lost puppy that they're taking in.
Sure.
This is a fully grown superhuman person who could murder all of them.
Now, what if I told you about the alternate ending?
Okay.
There is an alternate ending. You can go watch it on YouTube. They're unpacking their house. They're packing up their house and loading it into a moving van. And Rosalita comes and she finds the bag while she's packing, kind of thing, and that saves the day for that one. But it has Chunk talking to Sloth saying, "My dad found you a job," something like that, or he's gonna get you a job, so you won't just So it kind of gives him like they're taking care of him.
That would make more sense rather than "You're gonna live with me now, sloth. I love you."
No parents say.
Yeah, and parents like, "The fuck you are."
Right.
I'm sorry, but
So the alternate ending, that kind of gets worked out a little bit more.
If they at least kept that part in where the dad's like, "Okay, yeah, we'll help him get on his feet," not like, "Yeah, he's living with us. He's gonna be our new pet," which is wrong on other levels.
So this is why you don't like the movie.
No, there's a lot of other things. I mean, it's fucked up for a kid's movie. I watched this as an adult, so a lot of the stuff I'm seeing for the first time is through adult lenses rather than the wonder of children's.
I think
lenses.
I was 7 when I first saw it.
See, because like there's some
in
other
88, 89, somewhere in there.
Seeing some of these other films as a okay, Home Alone, classic example.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I can dissociate because like looking at that with some adult mindset is. First of all, the McAllisters, how the hell did they afford... Like, what's the mortgage insurance on that?
We've actually talked about this before. We always touch on Home Alone. We're doing Home Alone when Christmas comes around.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because stuff like that, I mean, but I've seen it enough times as a kid, I can dissociate. Whereas, unfortunately, seeing Goonies as an adult, my childlike sense of wonder is overpowered by my adult brain, who is like...
Well...
Just what the fuck?
Okay, so Rosalita's saying no sign.
Yeah.
And then the dad starts ripping it up down. Did you
Never
notice
sign anything
when did you notice when he throws it that there behind him there's like a air cannon that shoots extra confetti?
I didn't.
Okay, I noticed that when I was 7, and that's always bugged me. It's a small thing that just always.
Yeah, there's just those things.
And then the this is where the octopus was very scary. And that's the deleted scene with the octopus.
But they kept that line in.
And then the pirate ship sails off in the distance. They see it.
They're all like, "Wow."
You think someone will go chasing after it. There's still a ton of gold on that
clip of Flavor Flav going, "Wow!" right there.
Okay, I will. And then we close with Cyndi Lauper singing.
Good enough.
Goonies are good enough.
Yeah.
And that's also the song in the NES.
Oh yeah, there was a game.
I'll see. I have to look into. I don't know how music works with copyright. If it's a MIDI from the NES game, and it was Goonies 2. We didn't get Goonies 1.
Oh yeah,
in
because
the US on NES.
They were going to do a. They talked about sequels and everything, but they were canceled. It was canceled. They just kind of come up with agreements. Warner Brothers didn't want a sequel. There was a lot of shenanigans why there was never Goonies 2.
Yeah, I don't want one now. Well, everyone's too old. I mean, I can see them trying to do it where they do like a reunion kind of thing, and all the kids they're adults now, so their kids end up going.
Kind of like they did with the Christmas Story.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's certain ways it could possibly be done, but at the same time,
I don't want it to happen.
The way it ended, like as a person who isn't really a fan of the film, I would say, you know what, the ending was good enough. Pun intended.
Yeah. So here's some fun facts. Movie's over. We're just hitting some fun facts now.
All right.
You're about 40 minutes and 46 seconds in the version I watched. Mikey says, "There is something buried under there, Josh." So he said Josh Brolin's real name. And I went and looked, and yes, it is actually in there. He kind of says there's something buried under there, Josh. And he kind of says it quiet. He doesn't say Brand, which is his character.
Probably like messed up, and
they left
as
it
he
in.
realized that he messed up.
Yeah, and they left it in.
Like,
so Sean Astin was allowed to keep the treasure map.
Oh, cool.
Take it home, but his mom threw it away because she thought it was just crumpled paper.
Damn you, Mrs. Astin.
Yeah, for real.
No offense, I'm sorry but damn you, Mrs.
And Robert Davi was a trained opera singer, and it was his idea to do the singing and everything. We went over the story of June 7th, officially Goonies Day. This film was selected into the National Film Registry in 2017 for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Oh yeah, there's a fair number of films that have been. That might be something we might want to touch on. Some of the films that are in there are surprising.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And Data says, I think it's towards the end of the movie, he says, "Holy shit," and he spells it out because he promised his mom he wouldn't cuss in the movie. His mom didn't want him to cuss on film.
Yeah.
And then,
he never cussed once in the film.
right.
Like, officially. I mean, it was implied.
He spelled it out. Yeah, and it was implied with
And then he
the
spelled it.
language.
Yeah.
And then we did the shit and bullshit. It said 19 pass for a PG movie. So what do you think, Garrett? Out of 10, what would you give this?
Don't murder me, YouTube community, but I give it a 4.
Ooh.
Just the ending.
Yeah. I mean, I did the same thing with Exorcist, I think. So.
Yeah. I'm just sorry, just between the ending with the whole sloth scene, there was way too many Rube Goldberg machines.
Okay. See,
and
I have the nostalgia.
yeah.
So half of my score is nostalgia.
I
And
get that,
I'd
like
give it
I
an-
did with Exorcist.
Yeah, I'd give it an easy 8, if not higher. I don't want to go higher because the 10s are reserved for
Oh, dude, truly perfect films. How many
Yeah.
are there out there?
not a lot.
Honestly, we might have to do that a list of top 10.
I would
perfect
like to
10
do my
films.
favorite movie ever. But that'll wait till next time because we might not do that one right next. So that's the end of us for tonight, at least.
Yeah. Well,
And that was the Goonies. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
have a good night.